Welcome aboard, Captain. Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired. Seconds. Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
This is Aurora, come in. This is Keen. Life pod detached to Cape Planet fall in 30 seconds. The computer has identified a landmass at the attached coordinates. I want you to regroup the crew there. Understood, but they are your responsibility now. Don't let them down. Captain, you need to evacuate. Negative. You'll need the ship in one piece if you're going to contact HQ on the long range. I'm attempting a controlled descent. Captain!
Ruby, a hard, blood-red gemstone made of aluminium oxide. Rubies may be processed in order to leverage their structural integrity in advanced vehicle construction and modification, essential for advanced fabrication.
Signal location uploaded to PDA. Integrating new PDA data. Integrating new PDA data.
Lifepod 19, Second Officer Keen's crew log. To all crew, if you are reading this, then you have followed the automatic distress signal broadcast by this Lifepod's onboard computer. Contrary to my orders, I have been forced to evacuate. Your orders are to disregard my safety and attempt to reach the designated rendezvous coordinates at the nearest landmass. I hope to see you there.
Seconds.
Gel sac. These organic structures grow on cave walls. The purple sacs, which arise from the surface, contain a low-density gel laced with spores. These burst from time to time, floating towards the surface and attaching onto the next rock face they encounter. While the gel sac is edible, its low density renders it an invaluable advanced construction material. Edible. Aerogel construction applications.
Oxygen. Seconds. Oxygen.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Bleeder. A simple parasitic organism, little more complex than the common space tick, but just as dirty. Its ductile sac is used for collection and digestion of blood drawn from host creatures. Within its jaw are rows of teeth and mandibles used to attach to the skin of its victims. The bleeder's low speed and poor defenses suggest they have evolved primarily as carrion feeders, but they are also prone to attack larger living creatures which are less likely to take notice and take action against this parasite. Inconvenient and unhygienic. Avoid or incapacitate.
"30 seconds.
Spadefish, a medium-sized herbivore found in deeper waters, observed swimming near the seabed from where it can keep its one eye on predators in the water above it. Commonly encountered in plant-rich environments, the spadefish is well adapted to hide amongst the vegetation. Spadefish tend to move in loose shoals, and despite their low speed, may take necessary measures to avoid confirmed predators. Edible.
"30 seconds. Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
Alien vents. These vents connect to an ancient piping network that extends beyond maximum scannable depth. The pumping system is still functional. The inflow vent is drawing water from the surrounding area and pumping it into an unknown location below the surface. Warm, deoxygenated water is being expelled into the atmosphere. Most creatures are avoiding the vents. Peepers can be observed entering and exiting the pipe network without signs of distress. Further research required.
Seconds.
Eye stalk, a cave-dwelling tuber dotted with luminescent, photosensitive eyes. These eyes may in some way direct the twisted growth of the stems themselves, possibly in reaction to other light sources, proximity of cave walls, or other environmental conditions.
Oxygen.
Terra HQ. This may be your only communications window. We can't send a rescue ship all the way out there, so Aurora, you're just gonna have to meet us halfway. We've uploaded blueprints to the ship's computer.
Sandwich run, you in?
Yeah, give me a second. Black box data shows the high-security terminal in the captain's quarters is still functional.
Becky's leaving like in 5 minutes.
All right, tell Becky I'll just take the regular.
The regular.
Yeah, she'll know what I mean. The code should
And
be...
if she doesn't,
Just tell her the regular, dude.
okay.
The
If
code...
I say regular and she's like, what's the regular? I have to come all the way back up here.
The code should be 2679. The regular's just a ham and cheese.
Okay, would you just say ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese!
Okay.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Ancient floater. Biodata suggests these vast floaters have matured in an ingenious symbiosis with the land they have attached to. The attached landmass is raised in the water, increasing sunlight and encouraging plant growth. As older plants decay, organic residues and nutrients seep into the rock and are consumed by the floater. These circumstances must have held for thousands of years for a floater to reach this size. Immature floaters are born near the surface, from where they sink to the seabed, attaching to any stable surface they find on the way. Those individuals fortunate enough to attach to a digestible nutrient source will grow in size, thus increasing their buoyancy and drawing whatever they are attached to closer to the surface. In extreme circumstances, a number of floaters may attach to a Leviathan-class lifeform, forcing it to the surface and effectively asphyxiating it. The body will be consumed over a number of months until eventually dissolving, leaving the floaters free to attach to a new host. Those creatures which successfully raise landmasses to the surface are rewarded with a burgeoning and permanent food source, allowing them to finally reproduce and begin the cycle again.
Picking up multiple energy signatures on the island's surface. Integrating new PDA data.
We have to board the Aurora, repair the long-range comms, make contact with the other survivors. We can't be the only two that made it.
Those are not the orders the captain gave me, and they are not the orders I'm giving you.
This isn't chain of command, it's survival.
My obligations as acting commander don't turn on their convenience. Get out of the water.
If I get into trouble, I'll send you my coordinates.
I can't let you go alone.
Then come with me.
You don't leave me much choice.
Received emergency transmission from Second Officer Keen, 2 hours after last activity.
Rendezvous was a failure. Intercepted a transmission from Altera HQ. Seems they sent a data package to the Aurora. We were intercepted by a Leviathan-class predator before we could reach the ship. Consider the CTO and I lost at sea. Be safe. Keen, out.
Pink cap, a land-based fungal species with harvestable spores. Inedible. Voxel shrub, a pink-leafed plant with an angular appearance which grows exclusively on land. Ming plant, a hardy specimen which grows on land. The vase-like trunk protects the root system from predation and self-repairs over time, explaining the characteristic cracks on the side. Speckled rattler, a brittle land plant containing large spores which generate a characteristic rattle when the plant is shaken. This may act to ward off predators or even encourage predation as a means of spreading its spores. Jaffa cup, a common land fungus found in clusters, grows quickly, size is limited only by available nutrients and space. Grub basket, an orange-coloured land plant which usually contains a thick, protein-rich sludge at its base. This may suggest a carnivorous life cycle, wherein the grubs and insects are attracted to the bright petals, make their way to the center of the plant, but are unable to scale back up the slick inner leaves and are ultimately digested.
Blueprint acquired. Preparing the day's water ration ahead of time will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death. Integrating new PDA data.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me.
Blueprint acquired.
The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
Lantern tree, a conglomeration of individual vines which rely on one another for structural support, grows exclusively on fertile land. Each vine produces orange, lantern-shaped fruits with minimal nutritional and hydration value, edible in an emergency. Fern palm. This specimen was first identified in an artificial grow bed on the island. It is not listed in existing flora databases, so it is unclear whether or not it is native to this planet. Genetic code shares some features with other local plant life, but this may be a result of DNA transfusion rather than natural evolution.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators, fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship, and your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
New blueprint acquired.
Cave crawler. Agile, territorial carrion feeder. Well adapted to both land and sea. Its gas exchange membrane absorbs essential gases from the air or water for basic bodily regulation. This species seeks out corpses in packs before defending its claim while the corpse is devoured. Necessary waste recycler. Avoid or incapacitate.
New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not going to weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing and had a shackled nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief,
What?
you know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of storm water? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like, let him go deal with the plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bard, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. And no staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. Only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
Integrating new PDA data.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Marble melon plant. This plant collects water from the air rather than relying on its root system, and produces large, fleshy fruits which are both edible and have atypically high water content.
New blueprint acquired.
Chinese potato plant. The Chinese potato is common throughout the China territories, where synthetic foods are still stigmatized, and there remain large tracts of arable land on which to grow fresh produce. Genetically designed prior to the expansion, this plant is highly adaptable to different environments, and a staple of new colonies galaxy-wide. Edible.
Signal location uploaded to PDA. Integrating new PDA data. Integrating new PDA data.
You see, Chief, you brought us to this sodden planet. Told us we'd see a lush payday. Now what do we got some 6 weeks later? A dead crew, a habitat that's half buried, food washed away.
I suppose the executive decisions would be better left to someone with your extensive experience of hitting people in the face.
I know enough not to take unscheduled detours to uncharted planets. That's something you don't want to learn the hard way.
Easy to judge a decision in hindsight. Harder to come up with a plan of your own.
Got one already. We take what we can carry and hunker down in a cave somewhere. I scouted a site, a couple 100 meters deep, lots of metal deposits.
How do you imagine we'd live?
With ready access to building materials, like damn queens, a couple of water filters, a bioreactor, fresh fish. But Chief, we'll eat seaweed salad and drink our own urine if that's what it takes. All that matters is, do you got something better?
Send the coordinates to my PDA. I'll review your proposal.
aboard, Captain.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Anchor pods. These unusual flora specimens have been encountered exclusively in the deep reefs. They consist of a large, spherical, gas-filled membrane anchored to the seafloor by its root system. At these depths, it is unlikely this structure is designed to enhance access to sunlight, but rather the pod's ability to propagate. Once the pods attain sufficient height, they burst, releasing spores which catch the currents and disperse around the local area. Membrane tree. This entity defies neat categorization. It consists of more than one coral species working in tandem to create an insulated microcosm enclosed within a translucent membrane. Found exclusively growing on basalt rock in the Grand Reefs, the homeostatic conditions within are considerably warmer and more dense with microbial life than the outside environment, and the bright purple fauna inside will likely die off quickly if exposed.
PDA data.